CATV is proudly presented by Toyota.
Ryan, how'd you pull up after the second test?
Pretty good, yeah. It was a little bit sore, obviously. Spent a lot of time in the field and bowled a few overs, but all in all, pretty good. And hopefully we'll be right to go in a couple of days.
What was it like being out there when Stain and Walker and Philander were bowling those hooping reverse swing 140-kilometre thunderbolts?
It was tough. Obviously, I don't think I've ever watched the ball so hard when I batted, but it was tough. It was obviously disappointing, I guess, the fact that I had to bat and the tail at the bat, but it was just one of those things. But when you got a guy like Stain and Morkel, I guess Philander, doing what they did, that old ball, obviously they're pretty good at doing it. So, and Stain, as you said, is a pace. It was hard to face. So they did spell very well.
Why are they so good at reverse swing, and we've sort of struggled in the last couple of tests?
Not sure. We're trying to work that out now. We're good at it as well. We just didn't get our ball to go. So why that is, we don't know, and we need to work that out in the next few days, because if it happens again here, we've got to make sure that we get on it. But obviously their conditions, they knew what to do and knew where to throw it, and do what they had to do to the ball to get it right. And we obviously didn't do enough, but they did it very well. And as I said, Stain and the guys, they bowled very well with it.
On the flip side, why aren't we so good at facing it?
You have to ask one of the batters that. I'm not sure. It's one of those, I think, it's one of those things where, we had two guys in that were going very well, then obviously you lose a wicket like we did, and it's really hard to start against. So, and again, with the top quality bowling that they did, it's very hard. So, it's something we're going to have to practice. I'm sure we'll practice it in the next couple of days. Again, we did the same in England, and once we practiced in England, the guys came out and played a lot better. So if we practice it, we'll get a lot better at it. But it's just one of those things where, as I said, top quality bowling, ball coming at you, and it was going quite late as well, which is really hard. So I know we'll get better. I know the boys were shattered with what happened, and I'm sure they'll work on it.
So do you think the South African captain and coach will order a pitch in Newlands the same as they have in?
Probably, I would. Yeah, why not? To see what they did, with that old ball. But as I said, we're just going to make sure we get better at it. I'm sure we will. But the other thing is, if we get it right and get our ball moving, then we're just as dangerous. So if they do that, then hopefully, as I said, we correct what we did wrong, and we're able to do what they did to us.
Do you feel at all under any pressure about retaining your spot in the third test?
Always feel under pressure about retaining your spot. You never, if you take it for granted, you're in trouble, I reckon. But obviously haven't taken enough wickets and haven't bowled well enough. So it's going to be a tough decision, because I know the guys that have been training with Pattinson, Bird. Who else is there? There's probably one more I'm missing there. Oh, Moses as well. They've all been bowling very well in the nets. I've been watching them, and but that's what you want. You want pressure on you to do that. Otherwise, you get comfortable and you let your team down. So I'll wait and see over the next few days what the team is. But I'm hoping that I'm still involved, definitely.
When you've got guys like Amler and De Villiers and Doomity going so well, how do you change your plans on a benign wicket like that?
On the wicket like that, it's hard. You got to try and stop them from scoring, and obviously they're in pretty good nick. But I think that's where it comes back. Well, personally, it comes back to me not putting the ball in the right spot, not being consistent enough. I think if you get to where you're putting the ball in consistent spots and setting fields, it's easier to do. I don't think I bowled well enough to the field that Michael had set. I think he was setting fields and not bowling the ball in the right spot, so it was easy for him to score. So consistency is the main thing, I think, and we just got to make sure that as a group we did it so well in our summer, and in the last 12 months we've got to make sure we do it again here in Cape Town.
Our three fast bowlers bowl over 130 overs. In Port Elizabeth, how handy would it be to have someone like Shane Watson to come in and relieve you guys? Yeah,
to have Shane back would be good. It's obviously a big decision to bring him in to replace someone, but I think the Australian cricket team needs Shane Watson playing, definitely. One for his batting, but for his overs, are crucial. He's a guy that can do the holding role and obviously give us guys a rest as well. So he's crucial to our team, and I think he's going well. He seems he's running and doing the right things. So it's just a tough one to who he comes in for, I guess. As I said, the guys, one bad game they've had, so it's going to be a big decision to drop one of the guys to bring him in.
Just on the reverse swing, Davey said on Australian radio that perhaps maybe De Villiers was rubbing the hand over a little bit. Can you just explain to us what was spotted? And
well, he was doing something with the gloves, whether he was cleaning it, I don't know. But end of the day, if he had done something wrong, I'm sure we would have heard from the match referee and the ICC that they've been done for ball tampering, but we haven't heard that. So I just think they looked after it a lot better than what we did. You know, they threw it from the boundary into the wicket, into the ground, but everyone does that. We did the same. So I don't think they've done anything illegal. Otherwise, as I said, there would have been a report of ball tampering. But as I said, they've just looked after it. They knew the conditions obviously better than us.
Is there a fine line between what you're legally allowed to do and what you're not?
Oh, there is, I guess. The main thing is probably scratching the ball. I think that's the main thing you can really do. I don't think there's much more, unless you scratch it on the ground, but you get seen with the cameras and all that sort of stuff. But there's not much you can do. I mean, everyone throws into the ground. That happens in every form of the game these days. And you can't do it from one end to the other, I guess, into the actual wicket to muck it up. But you throw it in from the outfield. Everyone knows you do that. If there's any scratching going on, the umpires will see it. They check the ball every few overs. So they'll pick up on it pretty quickly, and then they'll replace the ball. So, you know, as I said, it's just a matter of the way you look after it, and there's certain ways of doing it, and we didn't do it well enough.
So was the alarm just caused by the severity of the swing?
I think the severity of the swing, it was reverse swinging. I think it's just bowling at pace, and Stain was getting it to go very late, but that's what he does. He's really good at it. Whereas Morkel and Philander was swinging from the hand probably more than anything. So Stain's just a genius at it, and it's no coincidence that he's number one in the world, you know, and has been for a long time. So we just got to make sure that, as I said, we look after it, we get it going. As I said, if we get it going, we've got, you know, guys, well, myself and Mitch and Sids will bowl fast enough to get that exact late swing that we need. But you've got to get the ball swinging in the first place.